Well, returning to our top story and the fallout from the Paris attacks, we can speak to Kit Nicholl. He's the Europe analyst at IHS, a geopolitical risk assessment firm in London. Welcome to the programme. Do you think the Paris attacks signal a shift in tactics by Daesh? In the past, they have been seen just fighting within Iraq and Syria. They've been losing territory in those areas following the coalition airstrikes. This is the first time they've hit civilian targets simultaneously at different locations.
Absolutely. Well, this shift in advising their sympathizers to conduct attacks at home rather than asking them to join the fight to protect the caliphate in the Middle East is nothing new. We do not see this as a change in tactic as such, rather a culmination of a strategic shift that they've been attempting for some time. The fact that in recent times in Europe, the successful attacks we've seen have been lone wolf attacks perpetrated by radicalized individuals with firearms doesn't mean that this was their prime tactic, because there have been other instances in recent times where attacks of the sort that we saw in Paris over the weekend, well, on Friday the 13th of November, have already been thwarted in the past. In Belgium, for instance, in January 2015, a similar attack of this sort, a marauding commando-style attack, was prevented. And this type of attack is something that the security services have been fearing for some time.
And what are the challenges that the French authorities face when dealing with a terror threat in their own country?
Excuse me, could you repeat the question? I couldn't quite hear.
What are the challenges that the French authorities face when dealing with the terror threat in the country?
Well, the French security services find themselves faced with an unprecedented threat, given the fact that never before have they had to deal with the sheer quantity of potential terrorists that are now residing and operating within the country. So the threat is huge and unprecedented. After the Charlie Hebdo attacks, they did bring in new legislation to be able to better deal with the threat. This included new surveillance powers and new powers to be able to conduct targeted intrusive surveillance on specific individuals without prior authorization from a judge, so as to be able to act more rapidly. However, the main issue here appears to be that the French security services are under-resourced. They did partially try and address this when they passed the counterterrorism legislation in June by creating an extra 2,680 new posts. However, the training of this new personnel does take some time. So despite the fact that they have addressed this problem, for these changes to trickle down, it does take a considerable amount of time.
OK, Kit Nicholl in London, thank you.